everyone, welcome to our FinLab podcast series, our series for Pintar Uang campaign.
And today's episode is going to be digital banking. So without further ado, let's get started! What's up everyone? Welcome back to our podcast episode. I'm Alika.
I'm Jessica.
I'm May.
And there's Shaka as the cameraman and also the editor. Today's episode is going to be very interesting because we're diving into the world of digital banking. In this episode, we would like to introduce you to our special guest, Mr. Junaidi. Yay! After having your guest lecture class, hi again, Misters. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
So, we will introduce you a little bit, just a little bit. We want to mention that he is a fellow Binusian. You graduated in 2002, right? With international information system. Am I right? Okay. So now he joined Cbank Indonesia, where he has many experiences, such as become the Chief Strategy Officer, Business Director, Strategy Director, and today he is the Vice President Director.
So for those unfamiliar, Cbank Indonesia is a digital bank under the C Group, which is one of the biggest tech companies in Southeast Asia, and it is designed for provide simple, fast, and secure banking services entirely through a mobile app. From seamless integration with Shopee to offering zero admin fees and instant account opening, Cbank now is the forefront of digital banking, especially for Indonesia rapidly growing in digital economy.
Beyond his corporate roles, Mr. Junaidi has also contributed to education by serving as guest lecturer at Binus universities for several times. He's known for being open, approachable, and genuinely enthusiastic about engaging discussion with students to show his commitment to supporting and inspire the future generation. Welcome to our Final Technology podcast. Today, we're diving into transforming world of digital banking. We are so excited to discuss with you as our speaker. Let's start with the basic thing to ensure that we are in the same direction of thinking. What exactly is digital banking and how is it different from traditional banking?
So, in my opinion, a digital bank and a traditional bank, there's now a big differences in the type of service and the type of business model that we try to do. However, with digital technology, we were able to leverage the services, the innovations, in order to serve customer in a more accessible way, in more safer way, in more cost-efficient way. And those kind of innovations are required to actually improve the financial inclusion of the country. So if you ask about what's the differences, digital bank is actually serving the customer through digital means.
So, in your perspective, besides from convenience and also flexibility, how has digital banking transformed the way customers engage with financial services, especially for those who live in the rural areas?
Yes, I think one of the key advantage of a digital bank is our ability to actually reach out to people in the remote areas. Yeah. Imagine in Indonesia where geographical is a challenge. Previously, in order to serve people in the remote areas, a bank has to open branches everywhere. They actually need to send physical people to actually educate the people and also allow them to open the branch, right? And these banking operations actually has limitation where most traditional banks only open from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. So when people work, well, the bank opens. When they go home from their work, bank also already closed. So what digital bank can serve is actually we can simplify the entire process while ensuring the security and the ease of use itself, right?
What about the unique challenge that digital bank face in Indonesia?
Yeah, I think because digital bank is quite young in the banking industry, so building trust is one thing. Ensuring that the people understand that there's no big differences in terms of how digital banks operates, the service that we provide, the security, the reliability of the services, and it will take time to actually educate the customers.
So it's about what about like the weak internet in rural areas? Is it also
infrastructure is a key challenge, but and that is actually represented in how we design our apps. We ensure that our apps are actually the smallest install size for digital bank compared to our competitors. This is to ensure that actually people in remote areas have no hesitancy in downloading our apps and also using our apps, because we fully realize the challenge of the infrastructure in Indonesia related to data and internet.
Does the one who lives in the rural areas, how digital bank ensure that they have the digital literacy?
Yeah, I think part of it we will help because digital economy is actually growing so fast in Indonesia. Now, if you look into e-commerce, it's actually penetrating even to the remote places of Indonesia. This creates jobs. This creates new way of doing businesses. But in a way, it's also an opportunity for digital bank to serve this new economy, to grow with them.
And then with the rise of Pindar, pinjaman daring, how does Cbank position its own credit service to stay competitive while maintaining responsible lending standard as both Pindar and Cbank are digital service?
Yeah, we actually collaborate with some of the biggest pinjaman daring in Indonesia. Reason being is because they play a role where they actually also do financial inclusion, providing money, loan, to people who need it, right? So one of the things that we look into it, their potential of collaboration, right? Because loan is one thing, but also financial education also includes on how do you accumulate wealth, how do you manage your finances. We can collaborate better with them in order to provide access. And also the type of products that Pindar offer is actually quite basic, right? It's a cash loan typically. What if their economic improve, they want to get a bigger size loan, a longer term loan, they want to access a more comprehensive product like insurance, like wealth management, right? Those are the things that a bank can serve later on. Yeah. So I think in a way, the way I see it is we need to collaborate with the players in order to ensure that we provide inclusion. But after that, it becomes another game where we can educate actually for them to not only see it from a saving and loan perspective, but also how you accumulate wealth, how you build your wealth, how to manage your finances, your financial bookings, in order to you can access a bigger loans for your business. Yeah, those kind of things.
Okay, so is there any real life case that you can share with us how you collaborate with other platforms and how it impact the communities or the society?
Yeah, sure. I think there's a lot of use cases that we can share. Right? I think in Indonesia, the biggest constraint is actually the high cost of doing transaction in banking. So by providing a free transfer, free admin, savings, and also daily interest, we are actually teaching our users, creating a habit where they actually save their money, right? And then with digital capabilities, we were able to actually maintain the transaction of the history for a period of time. So this actually creates also another education where they can actually maintain their financial keepings of their business, which later on will be useful when they try to access loan to the banks. Yeah, so there's a lot of cases because within the ecosystem itself, for example, if I sell cookies, right, and suddenly there's a spike of order because it is a festive timing, like Lebaran or Christmas, suddenly I need to buy more raw materials, eggs, flowers. Now, because I can access easy pay later, for example. So because there's a spike in the order, then I need to buy more raw materials. I can easily access pay later to actually acquire more raw materials for me to fulfill those orders. Imagine if I have to actually go to a bank, apply for a basic loan, right? Then it will take some days for me. Then it will take me longer times to actually fulfill those orders. So this kind of digital economy is what we're trying to serve and facilitate by collaborating between a digital ecosystem and also a digital bank.
Okay, can we also get your perspective on Shopee sellers? Because we also know that Shopee is collaborating with Cbank for the sellers, especially on pinjaman for sellers, as our audience is also for UMKM practitioners.
Sure. So as you all know, Cbank is part of C Group ecosystem, where in it, Shopee is also part of our ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
So Shopee actually is an online platform where there's thousands of buyers and thousands of sellers. Meet. So these sellers, for example, if they suddenly have a spike in order and they need to acquire loan, they can access cash loan or either pay later. Yeah, these pay later and cash loan are actually a joint financing effort between the provider and also the bank itself. Yeah. So once we provide the loan, of course, you will also have access to our banking services. This means you can actually manage your finance, pay your suppliers, pay your employees with a very minimum cost, no admin fee, free transfers. Yeah. So these kind of things collaborated well in a way that everything is very seamless. So when you want to do Shopee checkouts within CBanks using CBanks, you actually don't have to go outside of the Shopee apps, open other apps in order to do the payment. Everything is seamless. Also the same with the applying for loan itself. The entire thing can done almost simultaneously, real time, and it's very fast and very convenient.
Okay, so do you see that there is any chances for the new digital banks to grow sustainability in the market?
Definitely, I see there's a lot of opportunity in Indonesia for digital banks. It's a matter of what kind of segment that each banks want to serve. What is their key strategic advantage, how they approach things. For us, we were lucky that we are part of a bigger digital economy, right? So it's a matter of how creative we are in collaborating with our digital economy, and also how good is the execution to actually realize those potentials.
Okay, next, according to the Asian Banker, in 2024, CBank has 13 million users, which making it one of the largest player in the digital banking space in Indonesia. So the question is, how do digital banks identify customer needs when developing products like interest-bearing accounts, microloans, and also flexible repayment plans?
I think that's the beauty of digital bank, right? Because we cannot take out the human touch itself of the service of the bank. Right? We have so many channels, whether it's through live chat, whether it's through our customer services, or even when you open your apps, we can do a quick survey on what your needs are. But as a digital bank, we believe that our advantage is to understand really well who are the customers we want to serve, what do they need, and how we can actually innovate to provide a feature that they really need and they will use. And the understanding of the segment you want to use and your features and products that you launch, those will be the keys. Sometimes it's not about who has it the most complete, but actually who do it better, more smooth, more reliable, more secure, and you have all the basic that is required, a must-have rather than a nice-have.
Okay.
And then how to balance like innovation with the needs of customer protection in the digital banking landscape?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think in the end, bank business is about trust. It's about trust. In a brick and mortar services, the existence of a branch is actually generating trust, because you can actually see the physical locations, you know they're still operating, you can see the services. In a digital environment, trust is conveyed through other methods. It's how reliable you are in your service. It's how consistent you are, how safe you are. So as a digital bank, I think we as a digital bank, we take data protection seriously. Ensuring that not only customer data are protected, but also ensuring that they are not misused.
Okay, so can you share some best practices digital banks should follow to build strong relationships with the regulators, but while staying innovative?
Yeah. So innovation is one thing, right? I think the best way to build relation is actually transparency, right? There's a lot of innovation that you might think, and those we need to fully access it based on the current regulation. And if there are some areas where we feel that it needs to be discussed, then we'll be very transparent and consulted with the regulators. I feel that most of the regulators are very, I would say, open-minded to explore things. I feel the relationship is actually become a partner in discussion, innovation, and technology, because at the end of the day, our goal is actually aligned. Is how actually to improve financial inclusion in the country, how to educate our users, and how do we innovate within the clear regulation that was given, right? Ensuring that data is protected, ensuring that customers is served.
Okay, so regarding the financial inclusion and also the innovation, do Cbank or probably you have the PR team do you monitor the social media like Twitter, Instagram, and or any platform?
Yes, of course, because if we look into the customer that we serve, the majority is actually below 35 years old. So online presence is very important. That is a channel not only to do marketing, but also a channel to actually educate. Because there's a lot of things to communicate, right?
Yeah.
Not only on the features of the product, but also on the how to have a safe, how to ensure the safety of your accounts, how to avoid fraud and scams. Those are things that we need to constantly communicate with our users.
Okay, what do you think the students can do to help it?
Yeah, I think part of it is by actually practicing safe procedure of engaging banks. Don't share your pins, don't put your passwords, right? But also learning to how fully utilize financial services. Yeah, so that is part of the education that we can do, right? Banking is more than just having a saving account, right? And in terms of loan, learn on how to properly manage your finance. Just because a loan can be accessed doesn't mean that they have to be, right? You don't have to be as consumptive as you can, but learn to build your wealth, and also improve your finances. Yeah. So I think that the education part starts with educating yourself.
Okay.
And once you educate yourself, then you can share it to others.
Okay, so I guess that's all the questions from us, but there's an additional question
Sure.
asked by the other finance students. So the first question is from Yemeni. Foreigners nowadays are increasing and many are living here for long term. So will you make it possible to open an account using passport or other forms of identifications?
Yeah, there's a clear regulation that actually limit the account opening of foreigners using passport. So I think in the end we will follow the regulation. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So just from the regulations. Okay. So I guess that's all. I would like to conclude. So digital banking in Indonesia is transforming financial access by reaching underserved communities through mobile technology and also innovative services.
Okay, while challenges like internet access, digital literacy, and also cybersecurity remain, the digital banks like Cbank will trust through the transparency, strong backing, and also customer education. The key to sustainable growth lies in understanding the customer needs, using the data and the feedbacks, while maintaining open and cooperative relationship with the regulators. And as a student, we shall educate ourselves first before educating others. Yeah.
So, together, these efforts drive financial inclusions and create new opportunities in Indonesia's rapid evolving digital economy. And that's all for today's episode. We would like to say thank you so much for our guest, Sir Janedi, for sharing not only the insight but also real-world experience, which give us a deeper look into the evolving world of digital banking.
So it's clear that this sector is not just about technology, but also about understanding the financial ecosystem, stakeholders, and also the regulatory frameworks.
And also, as a fellow Venusian, do you have any message or advices for Venusian here, especially for those who want to work in the digital bank industry?
Yeah, I think the world is constantly changing. The only thing constant is change itself, right?
Yeah.
I feel that we need to continue to study and adapt ourselves, right? So new technology will be coming, innovations that will make a breakthrough in how we actually interact with other human beings, how we do business, how we serve our customers, and with the advance of AI, by the time you all graduates, I think the world will be a very different place to the time even current life.
Yeah.
So I think one thing that we need to maintain is the curiosity to learn, and also the ability to quickly adapt to the changing times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for listening for today's episode. This is Alika, Jessica, May, and also Shaka, and we hope this conversation gave you a valuable takeaway to better understand the future of finance and the role of digital banks play in it. See you in the next episode.
Bye.
Thank you for listening our FinLab podcast series. Don't forget to stay curious and keep learning in our next episode. Bye.